Jim, a fascinating quarter. 73 campaigns, but many emerging activists, not so much the traditional activists.
Yeah, that's a great question. We're actually now, 1 week after that statistic came out, we're already up to 90 campaigns, Oof. 65 unique activists, attacking close to 85 companies and deploying over $25 billion in new capital into activism. But you're right to point out the breadth of the attacks this year are really interesting.
Who are these emerging activists? Do we know them as activists? They just have been dormant for a while, or are they new people?
They're a mix. There's some activists who weren't as active in 2017. Carl Icahn, for example, we've seen him much more active
Definitely
in the first quarter. No. We've seen some activists in Europe who are more operational focused, who were very quiet last year and who've come forward this year. And then there's first-timers, and there's also traditional sort of equity hedge funds who, for the first time, are trying their hand at activism.
There's one really interesting person here. He's keynoting today's 13D conference. Jeff Smith is showing up a lot in a lot of these campaigns. Can you speak to a little more about how active he is this year?
Sure. Starboard, last time we were on, we talked all about Elliott. It seemed to be an Elliott-dominated market. In the first quarter of this year, Starboard put 41 seats in play, and which is an extraordinary number. I've never seen that many director seats in play. 2017 was more of a quiet year for them. Most of those 41 seats, too, were part of long slates, so they were attempting to replace over half of the board.
What's driving all this activity? Why are we seeing so much more activity this year than maybe last year?
There's three things. Actually, it's more of a case of 2017's very fast pace continuing into 2018, but amping up. What's driving it? Three things. The M&A market, number one. I don't know if you've been watching the statistics on that, but the first quarter of 2018 was the third busiest quarter in the last 20 years, since 1998. Harbinger potentially of $1 trillion M&A year. So M&A is a playground for activism. It provides all kinds of ways for activists to drive value, bumping, blocking, pursuing divestitures, breakups. Number two is the hunt for alpha. And if you saw the statistics on Vanguard in the first quarter, they took over half of the new mutual fund money, so $35 billion, I think of close to 70 that came in. And so what that is doing is that's driving the active managers to look for event-driven ideas. And then finally, Europe. Europe continues to push activism forward. Telecom Italia, Whitbread, there's a lot of examples.